The eyes of the banyan tree. In a remote village of Assam, hidden away from the modern world, stands an enormous banyan tree that has watched over the land for centuries. Its sprawling roots stretch deep into the earth, and its gnarled branches spread wide, draping like a canopy over the village. Known as the Eyes of Assam, the tree is believed to be alive with an ancient consciousness, one that has guarded the villagers for generations. They believe it sees all, its countless aerial roots and twisted branches bearing silent witness to every joy, every sorrow, and every dark secret of the village. The tree's power, however, is not merely one of protection. According to legend, the Eyes of Assam also serve as a prison for evil spirits and restless souls. When darkness falls, villagers claim they can see faint, shadowy forms writhing in the upper branches, like trapped spirits reaching out from another realm. These spirits are said to be those who harbored malevolent intentions or committed grave misdeeds, ensnared forever by the banyan's ancient curse. To harm the tree is to release these dark forces, and to invoke a terrible curse upon oneself. The villagers treat the tree with deep reverence, leaving offerings of flowers, rice, and milk at its base, whispering prayers to the unseen powers within it. For anyone who dares to harm or disrespect the banyan, it is said that a shadow will follow them for the rest of their life, a spectral figure lurking just at the edge of vision, a reminder of the tree's unyielding watch. One year, a traveling woodcutter arrived in the village, a man hardened by years of wandering from forest to forest in search of rare, valuable wood. Unaware of the tree's power, he looked upon its massive branches and thought of the fortune its wood might bring. Ignoring the villagers' warnings and the pleading of the village elder, he approached the tree at dawn, axe in hand. As he swung the blade toward the first thick root, a strange rustling swept through the branches, though there was no breeze. The villagers watched in fear, huddled together, but the woodcutter merely laughed and left, carrying with him a piece of the tree. That night, as he made camp on the outskirts of the village, the woodcutter sensed a change in the air, a chill, an unnatural silence. As he turned, he noticed something in the shadows just beyond his firelight, a figure, dark and indistinct, watching him. He tried to shake it off as a trick of the night, but each time he looked, the shadow was closer, lingering just beyond the reach of his sight. The next day, he returned to the village, haunted and unnerved. The shadow stayed with him, flickering at the edge of his vision, growing darker with every passing hour. Desperate, he sought out the village elder, who listened to his story in silence. The elder's face was grave as he explained that the Eyes of Assam were not merely a tree but a living sentinel, a protector and judge of those who entered its domain. By harming the banyan, the woodcutter had broken a sacred bond, and the shadow he saw was the spirit of the banyan's curse, a spectral watchman that would haunt him, a mark of his transgression. To appease the banyan, the elder instructed the woodcutter to return the wood he had taken and to leave an offering beneath the tree. Reluctant but desperate, the woodcutter followed the elder's instructions. He placed the stolen branch at the tree's roots, leaving behind food, flowers, and a whispered apology. But even after this gesture, the shadow remained, a reminder that some trespasses leave a permanent scar. For the rest of his life, the woodcutter was haunted by the shadow, a presence that lingered always in the corner of his eye, reminding him of his disregard for the ancient powers that lay hidden within the banyan tree. Villagers who pass the banyan tree at night say they sometimes see a dark, ghostly figure wandering around the tree, always just out of reach, bound forever by the tree's curse. And so the legend of the Eyes of Assam lives on, a tale of respect and reverence for the ancient spirits of the land. The villagers, knowing the tree's power, keep their distance and continue their offerings, well aware that the banyan sees and remembers all.